Something rainbow bright and colossal thundered at the rim of the Grand Canyon just after dawn. And from the look of it, spikes, fur, glowing eyes, more spikes, it was going to be a rafting trip unlike any the Colorado River had seen before. Among the crowd, a huge Kaiju Yoda towered above the others. He stood 300 feet tall, his emerald ears curving against the sky, his head crowned with a magnificent mohawk made of fluorescent rainbow spikes that shimmered with every micro movement. To his left, Moose Godzilla shook out his massive body, enormous antlers catching the morning light, rainbow spikes cascading down his spine like a disco inferno. And that was just the beginning. Darth Vader, apparently unfazed by the company or the scale, wore his black helmet and cloak, somehow perfectly pressed, while clutching a tiny, bright orange waterproof barrel labeled Snacks. He eyed the water with grim anticipation. Next came a gigantic Kaiju bald eagle, its white feathers lustrous, chest puffed out, and an I Russia t-shirt stretched tight across its massive form, rainbow mohawk ablaze and rippling in the canyon breeze. Close beside it, a 300-foot-tall Kaiju Russian bear adjusted his own I USA t-shirt, his rainbow spikes jostling with every move. And just below the giant's knees, a chittering congregation emerged, kaiju-sized squirrels, mice, skunks, coyotes, and honey badgers, each wearing an XXL SOS Save Our Squirrels tee that even their collective might couldn't quite keep from billowing in the wind. Like their towering companions, their backs bristled with fluorescent rainbow mohawks. Together they marched, tails and stripes glowing, down the sandy embankment toward the river's edge. But this was no ordinary Grand Canyon cruise. The banks had been dotted with living, breathing masterpieces from Greenlandic native culture, towering totem poles carved from Arctic driftwood and whalebone, jade sculptural figures arranged beside intricate, ephemeral sandcastles that glimmered green in the sunlight. Atop these sculptures, ropes of caribou sinew laced tiny bells and icicle-shaped beads, catching both light and canyon wind. As the kaiju loaded into a raft about the size of a battleship, elders from Greenland's communities gathered under ceremonial tents, beating rhythm on sealskin drums. Their singing drifted down the canyon walls, voices deep and ancient, at once gravelly with age and buoyed by icy clarity. Their melodies, some mournful, some spinning with laughter, told stories about migrations across icy fjords, about the spirits that run beneath the rivers, and about the strength that comes from tradition, even when 50-story rodents are in attendance. Jet skis, commandeered by fearless volunteers in SOS vests, zipped upriver hauling vats of steaming hot poutine for rowdy spectators. The scent of fries and cheese curds mingled with the distant tang of ozone from the kaiju's vibrant spikes, the sound of engines mixing with the elders' songs. Darth Vader, not one to waste time, ignited his red lightsaber, not for combat, but, as it turned out, to toast a marshmallow. He perched at the bow, one hand on the rail, a vision of steely calm amid swirling chaos. With a deep, unhurried bellow, Moose Godzilla set his paddle in the water, a redwood tree, uprooted and custom-carved for grip. Yoda, meanwhile, sat wordlessly in lotus position at the center of the raft, his feet hovering several feet off the deck, an aura of rainbow-cast light humming around him. As the raft pushed off, the crowd of kaiju animals hooted, their calls echoing between the canyon walls and shaking loose flocks of birds for miles around. The honey badgers lined the starboard rail, teeth bared in thin, wild grins. The coyotes howled together in a dissonant but strangely harmonious chord. The river foamed and roared. When the first serious rapid arrived, the bald eagle flapped his wings imperiously, causing a windstorm that sent the raft careening straight through gnashing waves. On the far bank, sand sculptures gleamed, untouched by chaos. A bear guardian here, a seal there, jade eyes fixed on the passing extravaganza. Now and again, the Greenlandic elders' singing grew louder, punctuating the roar of water with rounds of call and response. The effect was haunting, their syllables rising and falling like the wind swirling through ice caves. Every so often, the rafts carved a twisting path around sandbars festooned with hand-carved hunting masks glowing in the sun. The water surged, crew and audience alike laughing and howling, fur and feathers flashing under rainbow lights. The river, of course, resisted all attempts at control. Rapids tossed the raft skyward, sending Darth Vader's marshmallow flying. Moose Godzilla lost his antler paddle for a moment, sending it spinning end over end like a runaway helicopter blade, until a quick-thinking kaiju squirrel snatched it from the air. The raft's passage stirred a cloud of mist so vast that for a moment a double rainbow arched above everyone. Through it all, the Greenlandic elders kept singing. Their voices, sometimes barely more than wind, sometimes a rolling chant so powerful it set the canyon trembling, held the audience in thrall. Their stories bound together the wild spectacle unfolding on water, a celebration of earth, of enormous friendship, of traditions old and new. By sunset, the raft coasted to shore near a final totem pole, crowned not with jade or bone, but a pop art effigy of a squirrel, rainbow-spiked in honor of the day. As the last notes of song hung in the air, a hush washed over the canyon. And the kaiju, grinning, glowing, spikes askew and shirts muddied, promised to come back next year, perhaps with even more poutine and maybe one less lost marshmallow along the way.